Welcome to this video, and in this video we are going to see how we can calculate some exponent such as 2 power 3 using a recursion. So it says if we want to calculate the exponent 2 power 3 of the curve, then we might calculate it this way. So we know through our knowledge that 2 power 3 is same as writing 2 times 2 times 2, and 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 we get 8. So that basically is 3 multiplications of the number 2, and therefore we get 2 power 3 as 8. Now in here we have used our intuition, which is kind of an informal definition of exponentiation. So this definition is not recursive. A recursive definition calculates the exponent in a different way, and such a definition has two parts. So every recursive function has two parts. One is the Bayes clause and the other one is the recursion clause. So if I want to write 2 power 3 in terms of a recursive function, then we will have to represent it in something like this. So we'll have a Bayes clause and we'll have a recursion clause. So in the recursion clause, we will write 2 power 3 as something like this. So 2 power 3 would be same as writing 2 power 2 times 2. Right? So let's have a look at this example. So let's say we want to calculate 2 power 3. So that is same as writing 2 times 2 power 2. Right? Now let's say we don't know the value of 2 power 2. So we'll repeat the same thing once again that we have done with 2 power 3. So 2 power 2 is same as writing 2 times 2 power 1. Now let's say we again don't know the value of 2 power 1. So we'll again do the same thing. We will say 2 power 1 is same as writing 2 times 2 power 0. Now we know that anything power 0 is 1. So until this index became 0, we kept on breaking down 2 power whatever number was there. So when we reach 0, we can retain from there. So now that we know that 2 power 0 is 1, so we can replace this with 1. And now we can do 2 times 1. So 2 times 1 is 2. And then we can pass this 2 back to 2 power 1. That becomes 2. Then 2 times 2 is 4. So this part becomes 4. We'll retain 4 back over here. So this becomes 4. And 4 times 2 becomes 8. So 2 power 3 is equal to 8. So that is recursion. And the same thing is explained over here. So 2 power 3 is same as 2 power 2 times 2, and then we keep on breaking it down until that index becomes 0. And once that becomes 0, we get the value as 1, and then from there we build up and get 2 power 3 as 8. I'll give another example over here. So let's say you have to turn off the lights of your house. So let's say there are 3 rooms and you start with the first room. And to turn off the lights, there are 3 simple instructions that you have to follow. So when you enter a room, the first instruction is you turn off the light, and then you go to the next room, and then if there are no more rooms left, then you return, right? So let's say you enter the first room and you find instruction number 1 written. So you execute number 1, and then that says turn off the light, so you turn off the light. Then number 2 says go to next room, so you go to the next room. And then again in the second room, you see the same instructions written. So number 1 says turn off the light, so you turn off the light. Then you go to the next room, so you go to the next room. And then number 1 says turn off the light, you turn off the light. Then number 2 says go to the next room. So is there any more rooms left? There isn't. So what does number 3 say? If no more rooms left, then you return. So you return from the place where you came from. Then number 3 was left in this room, and number 3 says if no more rooms left, then you return. So there are no more rooms left, you return. Then again number 3 says if no more rooms left, then you return, and then you are out. So this basically is a simple definition of recursion. Now two things to note over here was, one was the Bayes clause and the other one was the recursion. Let's say if there are infinite number of rooms, so what will happen, you will keep on going to the other rooms, and in that case you will never come to a stop because there's always a next room. So to stop at a particular place you need a Bayes clause, and our Bayes clause in here was this one: if there are no more rooms left, then you return. And the recursion was going to the next room. So you go to the next room, and then from that room you again go to the next room, and then you keep on going until you match the Bayes case, which is if there are no more rooms left, then you return. And we have done the same thing with 2 power 3. So we kept on breaking down 2 power 2, then 2 power 1, then 2 power 0, and then once we hit the index as 0, which was same as 1, so 2 power 0 was 1, and then from there we went back until we reached 2 power 3. So we'll try to code this out. So I'll open up my Visual Studio 2019. I'll create a new project. Search for C++ and then click on this empty project. Click next. I'll name the project as exercise 4. I'll choose a location to save, and I save it in my lab folder, lab 1. Select folder and click on create. And then on the right hand side under the source files, I will right click and go to add and click on new item. Then select C++ file. I'll rename this file as main and click on add. So I'll write the basic template and then continue from there. Okay, so the template is ready. Now the question says your job is to write a program which accepts a Bayes and index value from the user and calculate the exponentiation recursively. That is, your program should have a function. Let's call this function a recursive exponent, which includes a call to itself as long as index is greater than 0 and return 1 when index becomes 0. So I'll ask the user to enter the value of Bayes and index. Enter the values of Bayes and index. And then we will read the value of Bayes and index. For now, I'll not write this. I'll just hard code the values of Bayes and index. Let's say Bayes is 2 and index is 3, right? Same as what we have in the question. The Bayes is 2 and the index is 3. And then we will call the recursive function. So I don't have the function at the moment. So let's define that function. So let's call this int recursive exponent. And this function should take 2 parameters. One is the Bayes and the other one is the index. Now in the recursive function, we will have to implement those 2 clauses. One was the Bayes and the other one was the recursive. We know when the index becomes 0, then the Bayes power index should be 1. So we can say if the value of index is 0, then we have to return 1, right? Else, if the index is not 0, that means it is some other value 1, 2 or 3, then in that case we will need to return Bayes, which is, let's say, 2 times the value of 2 power index minus 1. So that is same as writing Bayes times recursive exponent of base and index minus 1. So let's say, for example, if this function gets 2 and 3, so base is 2 and index is 3, so index is not 0, then we will go to this else part and say return base, which is 2, times recursive exponent of base, which is 2, power index minus 1, so the index minus 1 becomes 2. So 2 power 3 is same as 2 times 2 to the power 2. Right, we'll do a hand trace of this function, and we will better understand how it actually works. So over here I will define a variable called result, and I'll call the recursive function and pass base and index. And then once we get the result, we will print out. So we can say base power index is equal to result. Right, now let's run this function and see what do we get. So it says 2 power 3 is 8. Let's try 5. So 2 power 5 should be 8. So we should get 32. So 2 power 5 is 32. Let's try something else. So let's say 3 power 4. So 3 power 4 should be 81. Okay, we get 81. So I'll change this back to 2 and 3, and let's see how this function works and how we get the value of 2 power 3 as 8. So in our code we have the main function and the recursive function. So the program starts from the main function. So we have base as 2 and index as 3, and then we are calling this recursive exponent function and passing the value of 2 and 3. Now when the main function calls this recursive function, the control is passed to the recursive exponent function, and then that function does something and returns the value to the main back to result. So when this happens, a copy of the recursive function is created, and the value 2 and 3 is passed to that function. So the main function calls the recursive function, and we get a copy of the recursive function with the value of base and index as 2 and 3. Now this function gets the value of base as 2 and index as 3, and the function definition says if the index is 0, then we return 1, otherwise we return base times the same function with value 2 and 2. So index minus 1 becomes 2. So the value of base here is 2 multiplied by whatever the value of recursive exponent with base 2 and 2 is. Now again, this recursive function doesn't know the value of base times the entire value of recursive exponent with 2 and 2. So what it does is this recursive function calls itself once again and passes the value 2 and 2. So another copy is created and the same function is called again. And in here the value of base and index is 2 and 2. Now is the index value equal to 0? No, so we will do the else part. So we return base, which is 2, times recursive exponent, base is 2, and index minus 1 becomes 1. So again, we don't know the value of recursive exponent 2 and 1. So what we'll do is this function will call itself once again. So it makes another copy, and the value of 2 and 1 is passed. So it says if index is 0, return 1, else return base times itself again. So base is 2 and index minus 1 becomes 0. So again, we don't know the value of recursive exponent 2 and 0. So we'll call the same function once again. So the recursive function calls itself once again, and we get this function once again. And it gets the value 2 and 0. Now the value of index is 0. So it says if index is 0, then return 1. So now since the value of index is 0, we are going to return 1 to the calling function. So in here, the calling function was the previous recursive function. So the control is passed back to this recursive function with the value 1. So 1 is passed to this function over here. So now this part becomes 1. And now we know that 2 times 1 is 2. So this function will return 2 to the previous calling function, and 2 is passed over here. So this part becomes 2. Now it can calculate the value of 2 times 2. So 2 times 2 is 4, and then 4 is passed back to the previous function. So 4 is passed over here. So this part becomes 4, and 2 times 4 is 8. So that 8 is passed to the main function, and over here we get the value as 8. So the value of result is 8, and then that is what we are printing. So what happens here is main calls this function, right? Since that function doesn't know the value of 2 times 2 power 2, it calls the function once again with the value 2 and 2. So it calls this function, and this function again doesn't know the value of 2 power 1. So it calls itself once again with the value of 2 and 1. So this function again doesn't know the value of 2 and 1. So it calls itself again with the value 2 and 0. And then 2 and 0 is passed again to itself. It goes here. And from here we know that 2 power 0 is 1. And from there the control is returned back to the calling function with whatever value we get from the base case. And then the values are passed back until we reach the main function. And over here we get the value as 8. Now the question says to get the value of base and index from the user. So we'll change our code to cater for that. So in our code, I'll initialize the value of base and index to 0. And I will ask the values from the user. So we can say enter the values of base and index. And then we will read the value of base and index. And using that, we will calculate the value of base power index. Let's run this again. So we will enter 2 and 3, and we get 8. Enter some other value, let's say 4 power 6. So 4 power 6 is 4096. So you can get the value of any base to the power any index using this recursive function. So that was all for this video. Thank you for watching.